Hello there, fans of the Spring channel. This is Wait, and I'm here to bring you what would have been a popular topic if I had done this video on time a couple months ago, and instead we'll bring you a video that is moderately interesting to those of you who may have seen Invincible or seen The Boys as they were adapted on Amazon Prime. That is going to be a matchup between Omni-Man, who is from the aforementioned show Invincible, and Homelander from, well, you can figure it out from what I just said. And it's going to be very simple because these characters are straightforward flying bricks. They rely purely on physicals for fights, so we don't need to go over any hacks. The rules be very, very simple in that the strongest character will win via incapacitation or death. Now that being said, I'm not going to waste any of your time because one of these characters very clearly wins, and it's actually somewhat infuriating that this is something that needs to be discussed at all. So we're going to start with speed. Omni-Man is significantly faster, being that John's best speed feat in the show is moving at Mach 1.5. However, he does have a feat of saving Billy Butcher from a suicide bomb which can be calced at Mach 4, so we can give him a lot more leeway. In the comics, he can move at least Mach 3, since he can tag A-Train. And I didn't mention this in the beginning, but I'm going to be going over both the comic and show adaptations for this video, because it truly doesn't change anything. Now, from there, we can talk about how Omni-Man in the show casually moves at Mach 3.1 to get to his son in, I believe, episode 7. I actually calculated this myself while I was watching it because I thought it was kind of interesting. And he scales above Immortal, who moved at Mach 3, which is probably just a coincidence, but the scaling fits, so I think it's worth mentioning. And in the same episode, he also casually dodges missiles from fighter jets, which are commonly around Mach 4 to 5 in terms of their travel speed. And we know that he can move far faster than this, like he did in the Flaxseed homeworld. And I would argue that even doubling his speed would be more than fair. His comic book counterpart scales to his son, who moved at Mach 1500. And it should also be noted that these are low balls, since Omni-Man can travel through space and solar systems, so he can fly and react far faster than this. He doesn't for the sake of the planet that he's on, and we know that he can react to the speeds that he moves, since Mark couldn't blitz him. So he takes speed, and we can move on to strength. Again, easily in no one's favor, because Homelander only scales to building level from a suit that he created, who is inferior to him in the show. And in the comics, only a few things could be used to scale him higher than that. Just the fact that he scales above all the other boys and the supes in that universe gives him about building level. You could argue that he scales higher as he scales the Stormfront, who is used to imitate natural disasters. I've seen that a while ago people were debating the meaning of this statement. I think it's pretty blatant. The statement mentions that he goes to places where floods and hurricanes are not likely to oblige fought. This means that he's the one performing these acts. So any other interpretation I don't think is very valid. So building level is fair. Town is debatable. Omni-Man completely shits on this. Crashing alien into the moon scales to about mountain level, which is, again, above the hypothetical best for Homelander. In the comics, he only gets more ridiculous, but instead of using higher end scaling, which I will do in the future, I'll focus on the fact that Mark can be harmed by Nolan's punches, and in the comics he's able to tank multiple city level attacks. For example, a blast that literally obliterated Las Vegas. This is an amazing segue into durability. Homelander is stated in the comics to be susceptible to a nuke, which is too bad since the Viltrumite he's fighting has a son who is weaker than him that literally tanked one point blank. While this is a comic book feat, in the show he takes blows for Invincible, so again he scales far above Homelander's durability, which is an actually interesting point of contention, as in the show it's stated that Vought's favorite test tube baby can tank everything on Earth, or rather that everything has been tried on him and nothing has worked. Because he has yet to be hurt in the show, people assume that he is. Played out jokes aside, this brings me to what I think are the poorest arguments in regards to the topic. Just because Homelander hasn't been injured doesn't mean that he can't be. You can't assert something with no proof. Omni-Man is faster, stronger, has shown superior durability feats, but because John hasn't been hurt on screen, he wins. Usually people say that Nolan is more experienced, so he wins. Now, either of these arguments can work on their own, but they need to be tailored to suit the situation. Rather than saying that Homelander is completely invulnerable, you need to admit that you don't know what his limits are, and you could even mention that from what he's shown, like being incapacitated by a falling tunnel on the bus, then like his comic counterpart, he probably does have some form of limit, we just haven't seen it yet. By that same token, Nolan having more experience, it only matter if he can use it, so you should preface it by pointing out that he has feats that are even low-volleying and high-volleying Homelander. Omni-Man has better fighting skills and has literally fought people like Homelander for hundreds, if not thousands of years. This match isn't close at all. One only needs to keep in mind the fact that I lowball Nolan, as he has higher feats with higher scaling even in season 1 of the show, let alone the speed factor, which I already mentioned about him being able to travel through space. But don't worry, boys and girls, I'll discuss Nolan's higher scaling very soon, and versus battles on the channel. So if you're interested in that, feel free to subscribe, as we have a lot more versus videos coming. I actually have a lot of Attack on Titan scaling videos dropping very soon. So just know that while I was not able to edit for the past couple of months, I have not forgotten about this channel. I actually have a lot of stuff in mind. Victory and I have been working on a lot of very interesting things, and I think you should look out for it. So if you want to be part of that, leave a like on this video, share it around to kill this terrible matchup. So if I see it on Death Battle, I'm going to have to throw something. And I'm happy to talk about my favorite not Watchmen alternate takes on the superhero genre, and look forward to discussing them more on the channel in the future. As I mentioned, I have other matchups planned, though probably not for the boys. That being said, I appreciate everyone watching this video until the end. Never forget that even though Omni-Man folds Homelander like a lawn chair, he still stands no chance against even New 52 Superman. And that is a video that does not need to be made, but I might make it anyway. Alright, catch you guys later.